ladies and gentlemen, the concept of foreign exchange risks. So these foreign exchange risks, I'm looking at the hedging bit of it. Hedging means what here? Protection. How do you protect yourselves? Remember, foreign exchange risk, whenever you are exchanging foreign currencies to your home currency or the other way around, you can easily make losses. We don't want to get ourselves in situations where we are making losses. We would want to protect ourselves against such losses. So in this case here, there are those models which we are required to remember. But before I go to that model, we have in this case here some ninjas in this class. Do you know these ninjas? We have some ninjas in this class that I would want to remind something very nice. So we have Beatrice Mwangi. Everybody knows Beatrice Mwangi. Beatrice Mwangi is a Kenyan. She's our classmate. Yeah, so Beatrice Mwangi has imported a Mercedes-Benz. Worth 20,000 Britain pounds. So then she's required in this case here to pay. Yeah, so in this case here, she will be paying the amount. She'll be paying this amount in 3 months' time. In 3 months' time. They are still, in this case, in the process of importing, and that person has been gracious enough. That seller over there has given Beatrice some moratorium, credit period of 3 months. So exchange rates given. Exchange rates given. So we have spot. Spot in this case is 152 to 153 Kenya shillings in this case here per UK pound. That is the spot rate. And then we have in this case here 3 months rate. 3 months forward. 3 months forward, it will be 152.1 to 153.8 Kenya shillings per UK pound. Kenya shillings per UK pound. I can see Beatrice loves Mercedes-Benzes. They are good, especially when they are new. They are very good. So we are required to determine the amount Beatrice will pay. Determine amount payable in Kenya shillings. Amount payable in Kenya shillings. Amount payable in Kenya shillings. Have they written this question in this case here? I start doing it. I want to do this question right away. Have they written the question? Have they finished writing the question? One minute, okay, no worries. 1 minute. Once you finish, you say, yes. Yes. You say, yes. Once you finish, you say, yes. Thank you so much. So then let's go ahead and solve this question. Now, first of all, what do you understand by this spot? Spot exchange rate is the today's exchange rate. Beatrice Mwangi is not required to pay this money today. So this spot exchange rate is hot air. So the spot exchange rate shall not be used. The spot exchange rate shall not be used. It's just being put here to confuse you. At times they could give you even 1 month forward rate. It is the most important thing is the rhyming. Beatrice is required to pay this amount in 3 months' time, and 3 months forward exchange rate will be used. So we are using this 3 months forward exchange rate. 3 months forward exchange rate. Now, after you appreciate that you're going to use 3 months forward exchange rate, 3 months forward exchange rate, remember they have given us this in the form of a range. So when they give us this in form of a range, we must decide between the two, which one is the buying rate. Between the two, which one is the buying rate? You must, in this case here, look for the buying rate. How do you get to know your buying rate? Get to know your home currency. We are Kenyans, and Kenya is our business. Beatrice Mwangi is a Kenyan. Ladies and gentlemen, in this case here, Kenya shilling is on the left side. If Kenya shilling is on the left side, we have the left number and the right number. The left number becomes buying. Because the Kenya, you shake your hand towards your home currency. The Kenya shilling is on the left. And if the Kenya shilling is on the left, then this becomes buy, and this becomes what here? Sell. This becomes buy, and this becomes what here? Sell. So you must be very, very careful with the home currency. The portion of the home currency is what matters. If you're given, for example, a range like this, 30 to 32 Uganda shillings per Kenya shilling, please tell me, between 30 and 32, which one will be the buying rate? Which one will be the buying rate? Don't ever think that the buying is always the smaller one. Never think that the buying is always the smaller one. No. The buying will not be always the smaller one. No. Will not always be the smaller one. No. So in this case here, what matters is where is your home currency? The Kenya shilling is on the other side. So in this case here, this becomes buy, this becomes sell. If this confuses you, then make this rate to be proper. You know, a proper rate is whenever you have your Kenya shilling starting. So proper rate, you reciprocate this. If you want this to become a proper rate, it's very easy. You can come and say proper rate. Proper is what we call direct. Direct, where you start with your Kenya shilling. Yeah, so then this will be 1/30 to 1/32. Yeah, now Kenya shilling per Uganda shilling. Yeah. So can somebody in this case here, don't do it that way, but can somebody give me this? What is 1/30? What is 1/30? 2 decimal places. What is 1/30? 2 decimal places. 2 decimal places. 2 decimal places. 1/30. 2 decimal places. 0.03, right? We have to make them 3. Let's make them 3 decimal places. So this becomes 0.03 something. Let's make them 3 decimal places. So it becomes 0.33. Let's make them 3 decimal places. 0.033. How about 1/32? How about 1/32? How about 1/32? So it becomes 0.031 Kenya shillings per Uganda shilling. But now you see this is smaller, so you must rearrange this. So it will be 0.031 to 0.033 Kenya shillings. So you must, ladies and gentlemen, reverse this for the bank to make a profit. So if that is the case, then the Kenya shilling is on the left. The left number becomes what here? Becomes buy. The left number becomes buy. The left number becomes buy. Janet is giving us a very, very good concept there, that you can also, in this case here, come and do what here? Yeah. You interchange this. So we have 32. Yeah. 32 and then 30. Still the same. The same. Very good. The same. The same. The most important thing is for you to know that you shall always shake your hand towards your home currency. Once you understand that, you will never be wrong. 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 So now here we've been able to identify the buy and the sell. Thank you so much, Janet. And look at that. That's a very good suggestion. Now, after that, you go ahead and give us the role of the bank. Go ahead and give us the role of the bank in this transaction. So it depends on whether the question is a payable or a receivable. According to your understanding, what will the bank be doing in this question? Will the bank be buying pounds, or will the bank be selling pounds to Beatrice Mwangi to enable her buy the vehicle? So this bank, will it buy or will it be selling? Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you will just have to remember this very well, that if a question is a receivable question, if the question is a receivable question, you are receiving, then remember that a foreign boyfriend, in this case here, buys dinner. I'll be able to explain this. Anytime in this case here you see you are receiving, a foreign boyfriend buys dinner, Foreign means what here? Foreign receipt. If you are seeing a question where in this case here Beatrice Mwangi is receiving foreign currency, so foreign receipt, yeah, foreign boyfriend always gives you something, is it? Always buys dinner. So any receivable question, the bank buys. Whenever you hear that a question is a receivable question, the bank buys. The bank buys. Forget about these foreign boyfriend things. The most important thing is that whenever you hear a question is a receivable question, the bank does what here? The bank buys. The bank buys. How about payable? The payable. If you are a girl, in this case here, like Beatrice, baby girl like Beatrice here, and then in this case here, you are required to pay, then the gentleman in the question is a sellout. Yeah. How do we go and take dinner with you? And then in this case here, I tell you to pay. And I'm the man. So anytime it's a payable, like now here when Beatrice Mwangi brings a Mercedes-Benz, Beatrice Mwangi, the Mercedes-Benz will be coming and she'll be required to pay herself. This is quite a lot of money. It's about 2 million, over 2 million. Yeah, so she'll have to fill that pinch. So it's a payable question. So whenever it's a payable question, always know that the bank does what here? The bank sells. The bank sells. The bank sells. Do we have men who are who exhibit what I'm talking about here? Ama wanaume ni wazuri, wanaume hatunayo maneno. So you tell us here that this question is a payable question and therefore the bank will sell. This question is a payable question and therefore the bank will sell. This question is a payable question and therefore the bank will do what here? The bank will sell. Up to there, ladies and gentlemen, are we together somehow? Are we together somehow up to there? Are we together somehow up to there? Are we together somehow? Are we together somehow? Yes. So come here. So you're saying that role of the bank sells. So the bank will sell. The bank will sell. So they're going to sell at what rate? Are you able to see the selling rate? The selling rate is 153.8 Kenya shillings. In this case here per UK pound. 153.8 Kenya shillings per UK pound. All right. And if that is the case, go ahead and do the last thing, which is what here? Which is exchange. Exchange. So exchange, we can see now the rate of exchange. It is 153.8 Kenya shillings equals 1 UK pound. And we are saying that this great lady is required to pay 20,000 UK pounds. So then this will translate to how much? In form of Kenya shillings. So please take this times that. I'm being told that this will be Kenya shillings, 76,000. And with your permission now, I should be able to go to our past papers, do now a few questions, very few. During these last minute classes, we don't do so much. We do very little things, so that in this case here, you will be happy when these exams come out. How comes today we have very, very few students? How comes today we have very, very few students? Has this link been shared with the early morning students? Has this link been shared with the early morning students? has this kit, or rather this link, been shared with the early morning students? Yeah, karibu sana. So the early morning students, so I'm told that there is another class ongoing. Which class is that? You guys are doing so many papers. Or the link came in late. Ah, Penina is here. So Penina, please whip up your friends to join. The link came late. Yeah, I know it's a problem. I know it's a problem on my side because honestly speaking, I'm supposed to give you the 2 weeks timetable. I'm supposed to give you the 2 weeks timetable, 2 weeks timetable, so that we don't have to be doing these classes haphazardly, right? Yeah, haphazardly, no. All right. So then we go to our past papers. Let's go to our past papers. And then straight away, we look at money markets. I love money markets. I love money markets. I love money markets. Because money markets could easily pop up in your exams this semester. Money markets will easily pop up in your exam, yes. So do you have your past papers? So I want us to look at this Jackie Maribe question of November 2017, question number 5B. November 2017, question number 5B. Once you get it, please mention there, hooray. November 2017, question number 5, boy. Question number 5, boy. November 2017, question number 5, boy. Jacqueline Korir, hooray. Yeah. So then the question itself, yeah, reads as follows. Not camera, betri naisha. Lazima utumane mbio sana. So we are told here, Jackie, sorry. All right. All right. So this is the question. We are reading there, Jackie's Limited is a company based in France. Based in France, where the euro is widely used. So remember here, Jackie's is based in which country? France. So don't reason like somebody who is coming from just here from Machakos. Hapo unafikiria kama Mfaransa. The company has recently imported raw materials from the USA and has been invoiced for US dollars $240,000 payable in 3 months' time. In addition, the company has exported finished goods to the USA and Australia. The customer in the USA has been invoiced for US dollars 69,000 payable in 3 months' time. And the Australian customer has been invoiced Australian dollars 395,000 payable in 4 months' time. So we are told here the current spot and forward exchange rates are given below. You can see spot rate 3 months, spot rate 4 months. Then we have the current money market interest rates per annum are given as follows. So they want us to show how the company can hedge its foreign exchange exposure using forward market cover, which is also known as forward contracts. And then number 2, we have money market cover. This is really a very, very easy question. I will end up getting all the marks. So remember, they have given me information about 3 months and 4 months. So we have information here about 3 months and 4 months. We can't combine these 2 sets of information coming to us in 2 different periods. We can't combine, no. So first of all, we handle 3 months to the very end, and then we hedge later 4 months. Now, ladies and gentlemen, my good students, please listen. What have they told us here? They've told us here, if you look at 𝗕𝗘𝗦𝗧𝗨𝗗𝗘𝗕 up there, 𝗕𝗘𝗦𝗧𝗨𝗗𝗘𝗕 up there, we're told, line number 2, the company has recently imported raw materials from the USA and has been invoiced US dollars $240,000 payable in 3 months' time. When we import raw materials, we're supposed to be paying in 3 months' time. So I can see a payable of $240,000 within 3 months, not 4 months, but within 3 months. Within 3 months. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please listen and listen to me very well. Do we have any other? Yeah, if you continue reading, second paragraph. In addition, the company has exported finished goods to the USA and Australia. The customer in the USA has been invoiced. So when we export goods outside there, what happens? We receive. So we have a receivable. In how many months' time? In 3 months' time. A receivable of $69,000. So we have here receivable of 69,000. These are USD. These are USD. So we have payable in USD, receivable in USD. I taught you the other day and told you whenever you have a receivable in one currency and a payable in this case here on another, on the same currency, receivable in USD, payable in USD. To hedge, you need to do what we call net. So please give me the net amount. So the net amount, so receivable is positive, 69,000 USD. Payable is negative, 240,000 USD. What is the difference? If you forget to net, you get a 0 in the entire question. A 0 means I teach you in the same paper next semester. That is bad. I want to teach you in BDA. So that gives us what figure? 171,000, and it's negative, isn't it? So we call this one 171,000. If it's negative, it means it's a net what year? Payable. So this is a net payable. It's a net payable. It's a net payable. It's a net payable. Now, continue reading. Continue reading. So what have they told us, ladies and gentlemen? They are pretty fast. They're telling us, and the Australian customer has been invoiced Australian dollars 395,000 payable in 4 months. I don't want to deal with this 4 months. I can just write here. So remember that Australian customer, we expect to receive 395,000 Australian dollars in how many months' time? In 4 months' time. In 4 months' time. Now, my good students, and please listen to me very well, my good students. When it comes to now hedging, protecting ourselves, we'll handle 3 months to the very end, and then we need the forward. So remember, these are 3 months. So you need the 3 months forward rate. Has this 3 months forward rate been given by the examiner? Has it been given? Yeah, good question over there. So the 3 months, not 4 months, the 3 months forward rate, I can see down there. Don't work with the spot. You can see 3 months forward. Quite an ugly figure, 0.95, 0.9520, 0.9520 to 0.9525, right? 0.9525 to 0.9525. Are they cows? Are these cows? If you look on top there, it is US dollar per who? US dollar per who? Per euro. If you look on top there, you're able to see that currency up there. US dollar per euro. 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 I'm telling you, after this exam, some lady called me and told me, mwalimu ulitufunza vizuri sana, lakini ikafika time ya kutikisa mkono, onge. Nikamuuliza onge kwa nini? Onge is a German word, eh? Yeah. Kamuuliza kwa nini, akaniambia hakuna Kenya shilling ya kushake mkono towards. Akasahau kwa question, ameambiwa kwamba 𝗕𝗓𝗦𝗧𝗧 ni wa kutoka wapi? Ni Kijaluo, eh? anatoka France. Na France wanatumia the euro, isn't it? So in this case here, our home currency ni gani? Euro. So then are you able to identify between these two? Which one is the buying? Because we said, shake your hand towards the buying. Shake your hand towards your home currency. So the home currency is the euro here. And if the euro is on the right, then the right number here becomes buy. And once I identify the buy, then identifying the sell is very, very easy. So is that okay, first of all? This camera of mine, not very, very good. We shall overcome. I hope now they're able to see. Yeah, we are shaking towards our home currency. To identify the buying rate, we shake our hands towards our home currency. Our home currency. So we've been able to identify the buy. So the 𝗕𝗓𝗦𝗧𝗧's currency, home currency is the euro, and the euro is on the right side. And therefore, the right number becomes buy. The left number becomes what you sell. After you do that, go ahead and give us the roll of the bank. The roll of the bank. The roll of the bank. Ladies and gentlemen, this question is a net payable. Are you able to see it's a net payable? So what do you think in this case here will be the roll of the bank here? Is it to buy or to sell? And I gave you a very good example, and please always remember me for giving you these very, very good examples. You see, we have gone out with this great lady, 𝗕𝗓𝗦𝗧𝗧, and I'm a gentleman, and I happen to tell 𝗕𝗓𝗦𝗧𝗧 to pay. So if a question is a payable question, it means that the gentleman in the picture who is the bank is a sellout. This question is a payable. Is a payable. Anytime you see a payable question, you always remember that the bank in this case here is a useless, not useless, but I mean, if it's a gentleman. Yeah, okay, of course, at times we can be helped, but not always. What we want our girls in this case, including my girl, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, you shall never forget this one here, that a foreign boyfriend buys what here? Somebody? Dinner. A foreign boyfriend, in this case here, whenever it's a receivable, the girl in the question, the person in the question is receiving, it's like you're getting dinner. Foreign boyfriend buys dinner. So we'll be able to come back to this, but for now we are saying that payable, the bank sells. In this case here, receivable, the bank buys. If it was a receivable question, like the 4 months receivable question, the bank would have bought. The bank buys. Up to here, are we really together? How about my online ninjas? Are we together? Thank you so much. And this online ninjas, you are only 96. 96 today. Hamna shangwe leo, mnipatie shangwe leo. Kumbuka me, I'm a man of numbers. When I see numbers, I'm normally moved. When I see numbers, I'm normally 90 something. Aya, nimevuta haraka sana. Ulikuwa umeandika kweli? All right. Thank you so much. So in this case here, this is a payable question. So the role of the bank will be to sell. So therefore, the bank sells. Sells at what rate? Are you able to see the selling rate? selling rate is 0.95. It is 0.9520 US dollar per euro, per euro. And then now you go ahead and do what here? Exchange. You go ahead and exchange. Go ahead and exchange. So we're exchanging this. This is 0.9520 US dollar equals 1 euro. Equals 1 euro. 0.9520 US dollar equals 1 euro. How about how many dollars? 171,000, isn't it? How about 171,000 US dollars? This one here. So how do we get 171,000? Remember, payable is a cash outflow. Receivable is a cash inflow. So we took 69,000 minus 240,000. We got minus 171. And then we say because it's negative, it's a net payable. It's a net payable in the form of US dollars. So you cross multiply. When you cross multiply, well, yeah, we are getting 171,000 times 1 over 0.9520. So at the end of the day, what figure are we getting at the end of the day? What figure are we getting at the end of the day? So menipatia figure 179,622. Magi pia anajiskuma sana. Inaitwa 179,622. So 179,622, are they cows? This one like ninjas, they're writing 179 something, just like that. Are they cows? Remember, the dollar and dollar will cancel out, giving me euros, isn't it? Giving me euros like that. Yeah. Sasa ukishafika hapo unaweza songa mbele kwa question nyingine tofauti. So I would still want to do these 3 months, but I hedge 3 months using money markets. Let me hedge 3 months using money markets. So can I go to money markets for 3 months? Remember, we have forward contracts and then we have money markets. Kumbuka hapa hakuna time ya kuwaste. Wakati nilikuwa nafunza email leo niliwaambia ikibaki 2 weeks to the exam ni kama mama ameingia kwa labor ward. Mama ameingia kwa labor ward. Hakuna time ya kuwaste wewe hapa. Hapa ni kusonga. ASD itakuja 4 months. Hiyo tumeanza na 3 months. ASD itakuja 4 months. Let's finish 3 months. Is that okay? We just hedge for 3 months, 3 months. So in this case here still 3 months, but this time round we are using money markets. So remember, money markets is a market for short-term lending and short-term borrowing. We normally use money markets for short-term lending and short-term borrowings. So whenever you've got some quick, easy cash, instead of holding that money with you in a bank account, which does not give you any return, you would rather go to CIC, go to Britam, go to Old Mutual. I'm only picking those old ones whose rate of return is very small because of my age. At my age, I can't risk. You can't tell me that Mwalimu now, go to standard, whatever, you get 20-something%. I don't want to lose my pension, right? So you go to money market fund. So if you are asked in this case, what is a money market? These are short-term markets for borrowing or investments or investing. Thank you so much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, whenever you are told it's a question of money markets, you must always start by drawing a table. You draw a table. Unachora meza. Ukisikia money market, always chora meza. Unachora meza. Yeah. So ukishachora meza, usiweke kitambaa. Siku hizi meza nyumbani hatuweki kitambaa. Mimi ni mzee lakini niko na katest. Usiweke kitambaa juu. Tunasema mwanafunzi ameweka madoido. It's just a simple table. Nowadays everything is just simple. Mguu ya kwanza kabisa unaandika borrow. Hapo unasema namna gani? Invest. So meza iko na miguu mbili. Ya kwanza unaandika, Cynthia amesema amekataa hiyo maneno, lakini I hope hamna meza, hamna kitambaa kwa meza. Siku hizi hata cupboard hakuna. Siku hizi kama ni TV, we simply mount. It's simple life. Hataki vitu mingi kwa nyumba. Yeah. Tunakataa. ama mwingine anaweka kitambaa kwa mlango. We shall overcome. It's simple life. Nowadays it's simple life. It is simple life. It is simple life. It is simple life. Na kama umeweka namna hiyo na utuambie ukweli, mimi nakupatia zawadi, nakubaia kakitu. Nakubaia kakitu, wewe usikaseme hapa. Sasa mguu ya kwanza unasema borrow, mguu ya pili unasema namna gani? Invest. Na ukishasema hivyo, kumbuka we are using this concept of 3 months. 3 months, 3 months. 3 months we have a payable of 171,000 US dollars. We have a payable of 171,000 US. Do you remember this 171,000 US dollars? Do you remember them? Wakumbuki. Do you remember them? Thank you so much. Now, please remember that money markets has got 2 rules. Money markets has 2 rules. 2 rules. A rule for receivable, which in this case here we use foreign boyfriend buys dinner. A rule for receivable, foreign boyfriend buys dinner. Foreign boyfriend buys dinner. Yeah, remember this stands for what here? Foreign receipt. You borrow foreign dash bank buys there because of that buys. So that's a very, very important rule. But if the money in question happens to be, ladies and gentlemen, a receivable question, then I'm going to use the concept of foreign boyfriend buys dinner. And this foreign boyfriend I've been able to elaborate here. It's foreign receipt, borrow foreign, and the bank, of course, will buy. And then number 2, like now the question that we are doing, ladies and gentlemen, is a payable question. And if it's a payable question, then we use the rule of FPBL, sales. Yeah. So remember, if it's a payable, if you're asked in this case here by this gentleman to always keep on paying, and you're a baby girl, keep on paying like that, that's a local boyfriend. That's a sellout. Oh, okay, once in a while it's good, but it can't be like every time this baby girl is paying for you. So basically we are saying that if it's a foreign payment, in this case here, borrow, local, and the bank sells. And the bank sells. So up to here, ladies and gentlemen, are we together somehow? Up to here, are we together somehow? Thank you, Mildred. So Cynthia, thank you. I can perhaps repeat here. If it's a payable, we know the second rule. FPBL. Foreign payment, you borrow local. Foreign payment, you borrow local. The other thing, money market rules, ladies and gentlemen, there are 2. So you must identify which rule are we using here. This question of Jackie Maribe, Jackie's Limited, is a payable question. At least the 3 months is a net payable question. And if it's a net payable question, so we are using here FPBL, sales. This is the rule we are using because it's a foreign payable question. So in this case here, foreign payment, borrow local. So we are going to borrow local. Remember, you have got 2 currencies. We have USD per euro. You'll give me just a minute. We change our battery as you guys also take just a little break. You need to take some little break, isn't it? You need some little break. I changed my battery. I would want to change my battery. Thank you so much, young man. Great. Now the break is over. The break is over. The break is over. Can we continue? Can we continue? Can we continue? I can see we are 99. Not very good, but we shall overcome. So we have got two currencies, and you've told me borrow local. So which is the local currency here for Jackie? Local currency for Jackie. Remember, Jackie is in France, and France, you're told they use the euro. France, they are making use of the euro. They're making use of the euro. Sio lazima ukue Mkenya. Nitegemea maana ambiwa utakuwa define your residence. They'll define your residence. So in this case here, we are going to borrow the local currency, which is the euro. The euro. And then now we exchange at spot. So exchange, always when the markets we use spot. So exchange at spot rate. Exchange at spot rate. And then now you have the other currency. So now you're going to invest US dollar. 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 Haya, tuanze kazi. Sasa, don't write so much on these legs, eh? Don't write so much inside here. Just get some space down there. Are you able to see the spot exchange rate? Spot exchange rate for this USD euro. For this USD euro, are you able to see the spot exchange rate? Oh, yeah. Magdalene, thank you so much. Yeah. By the way, kuniambia jina yako? Cecilia. Ayo siwezi nikasahau. Great. Great. So, ladies and gentlemen, come here straight away. For the US dollars per euro, I can see the spot rate. 0.9830. 0.9830. 0.9830, oh yeah. To 0.9850 to 0.9850. So these are the US dollar per euro. US dollar per euro. Tingiza mkono. Tingiza mkono. Niambie buy ni gani. Tingiza mkono. Niambie buy ni gani. Tingiza mkono. Niambie buy ni gani. Type hapo. Ama Cecilia niambie buy. Kati ya hii na hii ni gani buy? No, which is the home currency? The euro. Your home currency is the euro. You work with the home currency. So this euro home currency is on the right side. The euro is on the right side, and therefore the right number becomes buy. This other one becomes who? Becomes sell. So you can't go pamoja sasa. And you've told me this is the spot rate, and what is the bank doing? The bank is selling. So I'll only pick the selling rate. So we have here 0.9830 0.9830 US dollar per euro, like that. So that is step number one. Because you've told me that the bank is selling. But if you go to an exam, upate umekuwa confused, what should you do? Unachora meza mbili. If you go to an exam, upate umekuwa confused, you draw two tables. One table unajifanya mjanja, mjuaji, kaka sungura. Unasema, if the rate is this, unafanya mpaka mwisho. Tena huyo anasema, if the rate is this, unafanya mpaka mwisho. You're always trained to look at all the suggestions you have, and then we mark the correct answer. But of course, I won't count you like my friend here, like my student. If you get confused here, no, don't get confused. But I'm just giving you some insights. Asante sana. Sasa nataka tuende abracadabra. Nataka tuende kwa borrowing rate ya euro. So if we are going to borrow the euro, are you able to see the interest rate of the euro? Are you able to see the interest rate of the euro? Are you able to see the interest rate of the euro? Abracadabra, the interest rate of the euro. There is a table called the down there. Aya, remember euro inatumika country gani? Euro ni ya France, sindio? Yeah, so amekuambia hapo borrowing ya France euro 11.5. No, lending 11.5. Na borrowing ni gapi? 13.5. Na hapo umesema, what are you doing here? We are borrowing the euro, isn't it? So then should I use 13 or 11.5? Yeah. Patapotea. Patapotea. Should I use 13? Remember, France is the euro. USA is US dollar. Australia is ASD, Australian dollar. France ndio euro. Na hapo umeniambia mwalimu, euro we are borrowing and the borrowing rate of the euro has been given there as 13%, 0.13. And then we come invest US dollars. So investing US dollars, this is the same as lending the bank. This money, lending US dollars. Is there somebody who is able to see the interest rate, the lending interest rate of the US dollar in the USA? Wait, they're not talking to me, Cecilia. They're not talking. 10%, yes. 10%. Sasa wewe mwanafunzi online unasemaje 12%? Ama tulisema mtu aongeongea takana aongeongea uongo. 10%. You see, 10% is the same as what here? 10% is the same as 0.1. 10% is the same as 0.1. 10% is the same as 0.1, like that. Remember, these are normally given as annual rates. These are normally given as annual rates. We must prorate them. Go ahead and prorate them. Times 3/12 plus 1. Do the same on the other side. It's an annual rate. Remember, this is a 3-month contract. So times 3/12 plus 1. Plus 1. But mwalimu, why are you adding that 1? I'm adding this 1 because of compounding. Remember what you were learning in high school. We said amount equals principal into 1 plus r. This 1, you don't have to even master it. You know that whenever you are given these rates, you must look at the time period. Like now here we are looking at 3 months. You say times 3/12 plus 1. You say plus 1 always. Hii mambo mengi utajua huko mbele. Mambo mengi utajua huko mbele after kupita. So I'm being given here Magdalene Langat, Mildred, 10,325. Cecilia, are you able to get that 1.0325? Thank you so much. Kuja pande ingine, winning the coup. You're getting 1.025. Winning the coup, ananiambia mwalimu pande ingine ni 1.025. Winning the coup, anasema ni 1.025. Pia Margaret Waithaka. Margaret Waithaka pia amesema ni 1.05. Sasa ushamaliza kila kitu. Ukishamaliza kila kitu, unakuja unawekelea pesa. Unawekelea pesa. Kumbuka pesa inafichwa mbali. Hapana cheza na pesa. Pesa hapana cheza na pesa. Whenever you get in this case here, the money in the question. How much money are we hedging here? How much money are we hedging? Was it 171,000 3 months USD? Wewe niko peke yangu. 171,000 US dollars, isn't it? Na tumesema pesa, tunaficha pesa mbali. Hapana weka watoto wako kwa temptation. Hapana weka hata mzee wako kwa temptation. Pesa unaficha pesa mbali. So unakuja unaficha pesa chini ya meza. Unaona hapa chini ya meza? Naandika 171,000 US dollar. Unaona hapa nimeandika kwa mguu ya US dollar. Sisi nikaandika kwa mguu ya euro. Because these are US dollar. These are US dollar. Pesa unaficha pesa chini ya meza. Hapana tempt mzee. Hata mimi nakumbuka kuna siku nilikuwa nimefikiwa sana. Nilikuwa naiba pesa ya mama. Lakini wakati nilipata kitu mzuri nimrudishia yote. Yeah. So don't tempt us so much. Pesa ficha chini kabisa. Ndio ameniconnect ati hapana weka bibi temptation. Bibi unamwachia kidogo hata ibe wewe. Haya. So sio kama umeona hapa 171,000 US dollar huwezi ukaweka hapa because ndio mguu ya US dollar. So kazi yako sana ni kumove pesa up, across, you go down. So we start with up. Up. Always up, we divide. Up, we divide. So like now up. So we are saying 171,000, you divide by this 1.025. Please give me this number. And remember, when you go to money markets, you are a rich person. Rich person, money markets, you don't use decimal places. Apart from the exchange rates. Yeah. The amounts. We don't use decimal places. So 171,000 divided by 1 point. Magi ameniambia atenda kwa 166,829 US dollars. So inakuja 166,829 US dollars. So up, unaona hapa sasa hii inafaa kuwa 166,829 US dollars. Is that okay? And then now we have across. Across, use the exchange rate. Across, use exchange rate. Across, we are using the exchange rate. So for the exchange rate, you ask yourself, will you multiply or will you divide? Will you multiply or will you divide? Remember, these are US dollars and the exchange rate itself is in terms of, if you try multiplying here, Cecilia, the final answer will be in US dollar squared. Na vile Trump amekuwa mkali, Trump atakupiga kofi. So hapo ungetaka US dollar isipotee, ndio ubaki na euro peke yake. So in this case here, you shall divide. And if you don't like that explanation, then what you need to do, my good students, you can come and do this one, the Kamare way. Ile njia za kitambo. Unafanya namna hiyo, unasema exchange rate is here. Unasema 0.9830 US dollar equals 1 euro. How about that 166,829 USD? How about this? So if I try cross, it will be this times this divided by this number. So it will be 166,829 US dollar times 1 divided by 0.9830, which gives us what figure? Somebody here. Thanks, Janet. So we have 169,714. So we have here 169,714. Which currency am I supposed to put here? Which currency? Thanks, JM. Which currency? The euro. Now to go katika Eurozone. And then now we move down. So down, normally what we do down, remember, things are growing. Down, things are growing. So down, we multiply. Always. Down, multiply. So we have here 166,829. No. Wrong. Why was I picking this? This is wrong. I should have picked this. 169,714 euros times this 1.0325. So guys, are you able to give me the final answer here? So I'm being told by Eric Bill, this is a dangerous man. 175, 30 euro, 175, 230 euro. I don't know whether, Cecilia, you've been able to get this answer. Thank you so much. So then go ahead and give us a summary. Go ahead and give us a summary. Give us a summary. So remember, for 3 months, we had forward contract or forward market cover. How much? And then we have, in this case here, money market in the form of euros. The final answer here is what I copy here: 175, 230 euros. Then we have forward contract. We have done this with yourselves. Are you able to give me that answer? Remind Mwalimu, what was the forward contract amount? If Cecilia can check for me, please. 171, eh? No, already we changed. We hedged. We changed. The final one that we changed to euros, because now remember, these are euros. Yeah, 179,622, just check. 179, check whether you can see this figure, 179,600. Yeah, because now we have hedged. We have brought these monies, in this case here, back home. Home currency. Jackies is the euro. So then please advise us, which is the better hedging strategy? Should they hedge forward or should they hedge money market? Should they go and tell James Mwangi, let's lock in a rate, or should they invest in the money markets? Which one is better? Remember, this is a payable question. You shall always be a minimizer. The minimum one is the optimal one. The minimum one is the optimal one. So in this case here, the best strategy is money market. Best strategy, best strategy, the best strategy is money market. The best strategy is money market. The best strategy is money market. And again, remember, you don't have to understand like everything. Trust you me, it is just a high level. We'll put a few write-ups on your paper plus the theories, and then you will be able to move forward. So now, will you be able to allow ourselves to go to the 4 months? It matters, yes, it matters. You must always start with borrow. You must always start with borrow. So now we go to the 4 months. 4 months we do forward contracts, money markets, we make a decision. Forward contracts, money markets, we make a decision. We make a decision. We make a decision. So we come here, ladies and gentlemen, and look at, in this case here, 4 months. I love 4 months because it is a receivable question. Is there somebody who is able to remember the receivable amount? It was in Australian dollar. Receivable. Receivable. I love 4 months so much. It's easier. It's easier to handle a receivable. It's easier to always deal with receivable. So you can see here, in 4 months, paragraph 2. Paragraph number 2, they have told us, yeah, in addition, the company has exported finished. We have exported goods, so we expect to be paid. So we've exported these goods to the USA and Australia. The customer in the USA has been invoiced for US dollars 69,000 payable in 3 months that are finished. And the Australian customer has been invoiced Australian dollar 395,000 payable in 4 months' time. So in this case here, the 4 months' time is 395,000 ASD. So then, of course, because this is 4 months, in terms of forward contract, you can write a title up there, forward contract. Forward contract. So then I need now, I already know the amount. I need here the forward months for the 4 months forward. The 4 months forward. Is there somebody who is able to see the 4 months forward rate? Cecilia. Look at the exchange rates. Tell me whether you're able to see the 4 months one. Tell me whether you are able to see the 4 months one. The 4 months one. The 4 months one. 4 months. Ah, great. Thank you so much. So the 4 months I'm being told here, the 4 months I'm being told here, my good students, the 4 months, what are they telling me? It is 19,510. It is 19,510, 19,510, all the way to 19,540. 1 point, like that. And then remember, this is euro per ASD. Euro per ASD. Euro per ASD. So please give me the buying rate. Always define the buying rate. Which one is the buying rate? Abracadabra. Which one is the buying rate? Abracadabra. Which one is the buying rate? Abracadabra. Abracadabra. Which one is the buying rate? Cecilia, sorry for coming back to you always. Remember, in this case here, your home currency is the euro. To know the buying rate, always work with your home currency. Jackie's, she's in France, and our currency is the euro. Where is the euro this time around? The left. So then the left number becomes buy. If I have defined buy, this other one becomes who? Sell. So up to there, is it like this or like this? Please always ensure that you are using some emojis. The online students, they are emojis. Yeah. So for example, when you are happy, you can use in this case here a smiling emoji. When you are seeing dust, you can use in this case here like that. So when you are like a half, what do you, the one that has got one eye slanting, half, so you shall overcome. So always ensure that you are using those emojis. Use those emojis like that. Now, so go ahead and tell me the role of the bank. Go ahead and tell me the role of the bank. Role of the bank. Alafu najua kuna wanafunzi Hata ukitaka kuwasaidia hauwezi wasaidia, because ingekuwa wewe swali kama nikienda nyumbani lazima nirudie immediately. Hii unarudia immediately because it's either this or options. Yeah. So the role of the bank, is it buy or sell? Cecilia, the role of the bank. Remember, you look at this. Receivable. You are receiving. So receivable question. The bank in this case here buys, because receivable is even the concept of foreign receipt. Borrow foreign, the bank buys. So the bank is going to buy here. So the bank shall buy. So shall buy at what rate? It shall buy at the buying rate, which is 1.9510 euro. Euro per ASD. Euro per ASD. Because now you know the buying rate. Now you know the buying rate. So abracadabra, get ahead and exchange. Go ahead and exchange. Let's exchange. So while exchanging, we have 1.9510 euro equals $1 Australian. How about 395,000 Australian dollar? So our boys have earned $1 million shillings, eh? I wish I was also a footballer. I wish I was a footballer. I wish I was a footballer. 90 minutes. So it will be 1.9510 times 395,000, which will end up giving me what figure, Cecilia? Here, if you already have the figure. Maggie Waithaka, Mildred, they have given me 776.45. 770.645. 770. And of course, if you don't write the currency, we take away 1 mark. So remember, you are bringing this to the home currency, yeah? Or rather, you can see the ASD will cancel, leaving you with this one currency called what here? The euro. So can I request that I give you 3 minutes to try doing the money market yourselves? And even if you don't get it right, so what? So we have already finished forward contract, we know the amount payable. Forward contract, we know the amount payable. Now you want to do, in this case here, money market. Want to do money market. Want to do money market. Remember, wanafunzi wetu wale wa online tushamaliza syllabus, nyinyi mko na advantage kidogo. Hawa wanafunzi wengine kama wa physical kidogo, we may need like one more session to do this, but at least I'm happy because you're following. Yeah, so please, money market, andika hapo sasa 4 months money market. Money market. Even if I understand nothing, naanza na kuchora table. And I'm giving you exactly 3 minutes. 3 minutes exactly. So 2 more minutes. I shall be doing it at 7:22. Can I now do the question myself? We try and see. Thank you very much for trying to put something down. So can I do it myself? We compare notes. Let's compare notes. Let's compare notes together. Let's compare notes together here. All of us are winners. All of us are winners. So money markets. So once I hear Mbesha money markets, najua Mbesha ni mzuri sana. Mwanzo najua nachora meza. Yeah. Now, this is a receivable question. So if it's a receivable question, which rule am I using? Foreign boyfriend buys dinner, isn't it? So foreign receipt, borrow foreign. So foreign receipt, borrow foreign. Foreign receipt, borrow foreign. Foreign receipt, borrow foreign. You borrow foreign. So remember here we have got two currencies. We have euro, and ASD. Euro is local, is my home. ASD is the foreign. And because we said the first leg here is borrow, so I'm going to borrow foreign. So then which currency am I going to borrow? ASD. Thank you so much. ASD. So somebody is asking here in an exam. I know what they're asking even without reading. You draw the table always. It's allowed. We're the ones who are marking these things. You draw the table always. So borrow foreign, ASD. And then you invest local. Local, of course, in this case here now is the euro. Local is the euro. And then never forget that our exchange is always at which rate? Is it forward rate or a spot rate? Spot. Money market is always spot. Money market is always spot. Money market is always spot. So as the examiner given us the spot rate for this euro and ASD, the 4 months, as this examiner given us, yeah, all right. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, what we have here, I can see the 4 month spot. So 18,890, we have 18,890 all the way to 18,890, all the way to 18,920, all the way to 18,920 with decimals like that. And then remember, these are euros per ASD. Sijana ukitingiza mkono. Mimi sijana ukitingiza mkono. Kumwila niambia mwalimu sasa nataka nitingize kwenda wapi mkono? Kwenda kwa home currency. Umetingiza kweli home currency? Home currency yetu ni euro. So ukitingiza kwenda left side, then this becomes buy, and this becomes what here somebody? Sell. And remember, you are the one who has told me this is foreign boyfriend. In this case here, a foreign boyfriend does what here? Buys. So you're using the buying rate of 1.8890 euros per ASD. Euro per ASD. Up to there, I don't know whether we are together. Up to here, somehow, are we together? Somehow, up to here, we are together. Thank you very much. Now from there, tupige kazi sasa mzuri sasa. Tukuje kwa interest rate. So interest rate ya Australia, remember ASD Australia. Please go to the money market interest rates, Australia. Unaona Mbesha, not Mbesha, but what is the interest rate given? Aki woye, awaliongeleshe wanafunzi wa online woye, hata hawajaona, na kama wameona, wameanza kuimagine kwamba wanataka kuwa mafutibola. So remember Australia, what are we doing in Australia? We are borrowing, isn't it? So borrowing rate in Australia ni ngapi woye? 16, which is 0.16, isn't it? What are we doing with our euro local? Remember, euro is the France in this case, we are investing, which is the same as lending. Which is the same as lending. Oh, talk to me. If you talk to me, So in this case here for the euro, what should I write here? 0.115, 11.5%. Because you see, in the euro market, what are we doing? Check this. We're investing. To invest is the same as what you're lending. Enda kwa hapo, unajua euro ni France. Enda kwa France under lending. What rate do we have there under lending? Ukienda kwa France, 11.5. Kuja cheza kama wewe. Iko wanafunzi for some reason. First, I've never understood. Utapata mwanafunzi amekuja vizuri hapa, ikifika hapa anasemanga tu always. Yeye anasema always at 3 times what year, and yet you are doing how many months? 4 months. Shetani ashindwe. Times 4 over 12 plus what year somebody? Plus 1. So then this is 0.115 again times 4 over 12 plus 1. Plus 1. So please go ahead and give me these numbers. So 0.16 times 4 over 12 plus equals plus 1. What answer are we getting there? If you can write the whole of it, the better. Not unless it's so huge. So I'm being told the first one is 1.053. Is that okay? Or 33? Let's increase the decimal point to 4. How about this one? This one might be even uglier. This one here might be even uglier. 1.0383. So this is 1.0383 like that. So now we have done everything except for pesa ile ambayo tunaficha chini ya meza. Pesa tunaficha chini ya meza. Peter is crying, I don't know why. Calculations. Isn't right sana. So tunachukua tu calculation nasema 0.16 times 4 over 12 equals whatever you get tunasema plus 1. Whatever you get is plus 1. You want to talk wapi? Like it was amount equals principal 1 plus r for purpose of what you're compounding. For purposes of compounding. The invest one is wrong, eh? Wanasema invest is wrong? Sure. Wanasema the invest is wrong? Sure. Is right, eh? It's okay. Janet, why is the invest one wrong? It's correct. 1.0383. It's okay. Sasa pesa tufiche pesa chini ya meza. Ilikuwa pesa ngapi? Ilikuwa 395,000 Australian dollar. Tuweke kwa mguu gani? Tuweke kwa mguu ya A, hiyo pesa chini yake, ama mguu ya B chini yake. Tuweke wapi? Pata potea. Hii kiwa sio uwezi kuweka kwa euro. Itaweza kuweka kwa euro. Hii lazima kwa mguu ya Australian dollar. It is here 395,000 Australian dollar. Ndikwe hivyo. Great. Sasa tuanze ile mchakato. Up, we always divide. Tuanze mchakato, unaenda juu unasema up, divide. Up, divide. So you take 395,000, you divide this by this 1.0533. Please give me this answer. Up we are dividing. Up we are dividing. Up we divide. Up we divide. So some ninja is giving me 375, eh? Is it 375? Yeah, ASD. When I divide up, 375, 119. Ama niko peke yangu. Sijui umesha divide Cecilia. Nachukua this. 111. Yeah. So remember, we must agree all of us. Either we use 4 decimal places consistently, all of us, or we use 3 decimal places to get the same answers. Let's agree. Here, how many decimal places? 3 or 4? So you want 3 or 4? So let's 4. So if it's 4, please give me the answer for 4. Rab, whatever answer you have there, you say 395,000 divided by 1.0533. Divided by 1.0533. What are we getting here? Is there somebody who's getting 3? 375. Woi. We are getting 375. 012, eh? Yeah, ASD. Across. Across is the exchange rate. So go across. So across is the exchange rate. So the exchange rate given is 1.8890 euro per ASD. Euro per ASD. Yeah, so please open this up across. So you're saying 1.8890 euro equals 1 ASD. How about 395? Not 395, but 375. How about 375,000? How about 375, 012 ASDs? So go ahead and cross multiply. So this times this. What figure do I write here now? On top, in terms of euros, what figures do I write here now? Sila na kungojea. Mildred is giving me, I can see so many of you are dividing. I don't know why. You see, ladies and gentlemen, here you can always tell, You see, these are euros different, and these are ASDs. Unlike terms, you multiply. Unlike terms, we multiply. So we are getting 708, 398. So we are getting 708, 398. These are euros. Those are euros. And then now we go down. So down, what shall we be doing downwards? Down, we shall multiply. Down, we multiply. So we have here down. So down, multiply. Down, multiply. Down, multiply. Down, multiply. So you multiply. So we have here 708, 398 times, in this case here, this multiplier, which is 1.0383, 4 decimal places. Is there somebody who is able to give me this figure? 708, 398 times 1.0383. We am alone, but I shall overcome. 735, 529. 735, 529. Cecilia, confirm this figure. Yeah, 735, 529. And remember that if you miss writing the currency down, you lose a mark. You lose a mark. You lose a mark. You lose a mark. So once you reach there, go ahead and give a summary for these 4 months. Give us a summary for these 4 months. Give us a summary for these 4 months. Give us a summary. Give us a summary for the 4 months, like that. Give us a summary for the 4 months, like that. Give us a summary for the 4 months. So summary, give us forward contract, forward contract, forward contract. Give us money market. Money market. Money market is 735, 529 euros. How about forward contract, somebody? V, don't worry about max allocation. Don't worry about max allocation. That should not bother you at all. So long as you know how to draw the table and you know how to do a few things here and there, you are sorted. Oh yeah, forward inakwenda kuja ngapi? 770, 635, 645. If you start to make a decision. So remember, this is a receivable question. If it's receivable, the more you receive, the better. It's not a payable. The more you receive, the better. The more you receive, the better. Is that okay? The more we receive, the better. So in that case, we recommend which one? We recommend forward. In that case, we recommend, you see, the forward will give me more money. So I recommend the forward. I recommend forward contract, hedging strategy. I recommend forward contract, hedging what here? Hedging strategy. I recommend forward contract, hedging strategy. So I don't want to do so many questions in this area, but I would like you, great students of mine, to ensure that you repeat this very question, not tomorrow, but tonight. Is it possible for you to repeat this same question tonight? Yeah. You ensure you repeat it tonight. If you get it wrong, we repeat again ourselves, in this case here, in our tomorrow's daytime class. Problem sasa accountants, nyinyi mnajipenda sana. Accountants mnajipenda sana. Najua mko busy sana kazini, lakini mnajipenda sana. Mnajipenda sana. Sasa utapata mwingine hata ataangalia totally ni kujipenda ama ni kuchoka. You know, for example, as a civil engineer, when I start drawing my structural drawings, I sit down like today, I can do my structural drawings up to 2 a.m. Accountant, kwenda mpaka 2 a.m. International disaster. So I believe like work ethic, because I'm lucky to be in both. Yeah, an engineer and a CPA. And of course, at the same time, an ACCA. Yeah. So I know the work ethic. These guys have a better work ethic than accountants, but we shall overcome. That's debatable. That's debatable. Or you are data clerks? No. Yeah, when we'll be doing like a big high rise, yeah, I'll be able to draw something up for you at a very, very good rate. At a very, very good rate. Yeah. So I don't know whether you have been able to pick something, however small. Have you now understood this money market? Have you understood this money market? Content leo imeingia. How do you navigate the workplace? How do you navigate the workplace? Very good. You know, if you diversify, ladies and gentlemen, you end up in this case here gaining a lot. When you diversify, you end up gaining a lot. Utapata huyu anakulipa hii kidogo, anakupea kidogo, mwingine anakupea euro, mwingine dollar. It's only again accountants. Utapata mtu ametoka accounting, ameenda hapa akafanya accounting. Akaenda akasema tena afanya BCom. Yeah. Alitoka hapa afanya tena MBA accounting. Hii hakuna kitu nafanya kwa maisha. Because the MBA accounting sasa, do you think you will learn in this case here like new IFRSs? The IFRSs you did here in CPA are actually very, very superior. So if I were you and maybe I could do this because of the undergraduate, but when I go to MBA, I'll do MBA in data analytics. Data analytics. I can even in this case here change because I mean this thing. No. You change, you do different things. You do different things. Like right now, yeah. As compared to Treasury, Mansa X, you guys are still young. I don't want to criticize it. You can invest there. Me, I can't invest there. Yeah, that interest rate is really high. Where are they investing their money? What can they do? Yeah, if you've done it, of course, but try to do what you have to always diversify. And then as you diversify, do not forget key things. We have in this case here like a skill, which I always tell my students here to do, to always engage this concept of what you're public speaking. You can't be an accountant and always keep on insisting here. All right. And then you get yourself, in this case, you have a big problem with R and L. Yeah. These are things, ladies and gentlemen, that you can correct today. Because whether you like it or not, as a CPA, you will get yourself standing before 3,000 people to speak. Yeah, whether you like it or not, yes. So for example, like I'm now doing audit, and one of my clients is KMPDU. You know, I don't know whether I've also told you, I do so many things. I run a registered firm by Aura and the core based at Westlands. Yeah, based at Westlands. So we have clients like the Medical Practitioners Board. I mean, these guys are many. So once you have done an opinion, and assuming you give them an unqualified opinion, and then you stand before them, and you happen to be having a problem of this, that I'm not the blind groom, I'm the blind groom's brother. Where? And you're a CPA, a financial reporter, she and the C. And those are things that you can correct at this tender age. We shall overcome. Let's talk tomorrow. Bye. You have so many questions. What about strategic management? Let's talk about those tomorrow. Bye. Thank you.